right? And then Jo was going to do Fighting Prejudice, but she's not here now. Now you talk about... What's like? There you go. No, you just say... we've been looking at the way people come out and how they've done it. I want you to say, like, Jamie's got something he wants to talk about. No, say it nicely. I'm the chairperson for the North West Kent College Gay, Lesbian and Bisexual Support Social Group. Try saying that with something in your mouth. I was asked to do a video for you lot, that's you lot in the back row there, about being gay and what the support group's actually for. Being the lazy and incompetent person I am, I've actually decided to put it out on video instead of standing up and shitting the pants off me. Right. Well, first thing I want to do, before I actually talk about the group and all that, I've got the giggles, is actually introduce you to some of my committee.
Hi there, my name's Ryan O'Neill and I'm the secretary of the group.
Hi, my name's Kelly McGrady and I'm the treasurer of the group.
There wasn't any support for gay and lesbian students. We had a counsellor, Kate Craig, who was actually at Dartford 2 days a week, but that wasn't enough. So I decided to actually set up a support group. I asked the students, and they said, yeah, let's have a support group, especially for gay and lesbian students. That is including bisexual students as well. What else can I say about the group? It's here, you're in it now, and I'm not going to pressurise you into talk about anything you don't want to talk about, but hello, you're in it now. The next thing I want to talk about is about actually points of homosexuality I want to deal with. The first thing I want to do, I don't know if you've seen these posters about, you can actually get them in like most gay bars and all that sort of thing, and we thought they sort of did actually relate to gay and lesbian students. Right, the first one I've got is homosexuality is wide-ranging, and I'm going to improvise this because I hate reading. When you talk about sexuality, you usually talk about like feelings of attraction, sexual intercourse, or sort of just loving people. When we talk about sexuality with the same sex, that's usually referred to as homosexuality. That's in contrast with a man and a woman having sex, intercourse, and that's called heterosexuality. These descriptions may seem useful in theory, but in real life it's not the same. You know, you've got boys who like hairdressing or cooking, and girls who like motor mechanics, and at school, I must remember I did it as well, we called them gay or homosexual. I can't even say homosexual, that's a stupid thing to do. You can have a married woman who fancies women but only has sex with a husband, but you can also get a father who only has sexual intercourse with his wife. That counts. If you're happy with your sexuality, that's fine. If you're not, it may take a bit of a while, but if you can acknowledge that you're either gay, lesbian or bisexual, it does help in the end. You become a person and not just something on the floor. Right, Ryan.
Yeah. Homosexuality is everywhere. You meet them every day, in your family, among your friends, at your place of work and even in the street. But you don't see them. They don't look any different, so unless they declare their sexuality to you, you don't know that they're there. If they don't tell you, it's because they're frightened that your reactions may be based on prejudice and ignorance. If they come out, they can take part in more fully everyday life and have the same pride in the relationships as heterosexual people do. If they don't come out, they have to live a double life. So they remain vulnerable to exposure and get no support if their relationships go through difficult patches. This leads to stress and unhappiness. Kelly.
Homosexuality is surprising. Most people expect children to get married when they grow up. This assumes that everyone is heterosexual, an idea reinforced at school and by everything else around us, from soap adverts to soap operas. It comes as a shock when this assumption is challenged. Parents don't know how to react if their child is homosexual. It's even more difficult for gay people. We learn to loathe homosexuality before we are aware that we are gay, so the discovery of our true feelings may make us feel isolated, lonely and despairing, even when we have to accept our homosexuality. Life can be difficult as everything from council houses to mail order catalogues assumes married couples are the only adults in the world. Gay people need information, reassurance and support. Misinformation can cause great damage. For example, claims that homosexuality is a passing phase can force people into marriage and cause unhappiness to others as well. There's no way of telling if a child will grow up to be gay. It's no use looking for behaviour which doesn't fit the popular image of masculine or feminine. There's something of that in everyone. Thank you.
And now Jamie Wake, the chair of our group, is going to tell you a story about how he came out.
Just to correct what Ryan said then, it's not a story, it's actually a biography sort of thing. It's actually entitled Me First, Gay Second, saying that I've come across from many gay people, and I think it fits the name of this programme completely. I'm 18 years old and I'm currently attending a nearby college where I'm a performing arts student. I'm gay, and although this is what I've suddenly got a name for, I've come to realise that it's something I've been feeling for years. I was brought up to think that everybody in the world is straight. You hear black people talk about living in a white man's world. I can see now that being gay is almost the same. I'm a gay man living in a straight man's world. It wasn't until my second year of secondary school that I realised that the feelings I had for other men weren't feelings that were considered normal by the standards set by society. I was very confused about myself at this time, and what didn't help was the name calling I encountered, because, well, let's face it, I was rather camp, and I still am. It came to a point where I really wanted to kill myself. I was that unhappy. Many a time did I contemplate wanting to jump off this bridge on the way to school. I was confused, but I wasn't stupid. I found that the hardest thing was coming out to myself. I couldn't and didn't want to accept the fact that I was different. All through my life, I'd always been the odd one out, and I didn't want to anymore. I just wanted to fit in. Like everybody else I know, I grew up believing that eventually I'd settle down, get married, have children. I soon realised that I wouldn't have the grandchildren, give the grandchildren to my mum that I wanted, or the children I wanted, and still do. But in comparison to my friends and family, and that hurt. But out of all of this, the thing that really hurt was the fact that I wouldn't give my mum her first grandchild. Up until now, no one else knew how I was feeling, or what I was thinking, so it was easy to fool myself into thinking that I was straight. I came to the conclusion that if I had relationships with girls, then I wouldn't have these feelings about men anymore. I didn't want to be gay, so I deliberately went out looking for girls. I found one, and an hour later I was having sex for the first time on a park bench. I knew afterwards that it wasn't right, and that I'd in fact used a girl. A week later, I came out. I can still remember the day I came out. At that time I was on youth training. After a deep conversation about homosexuality, I broke down and told a trainee of the feelings that I felt, feelings that had been sort of bottled up inside me for far too long. It felt relieved that I could talk about it, and it felt good, but I don't know. I don't know why I chose a girl to talk to. It just seems that girls are more easy to understand than boys. I still had a lot more people to tell. I didn't have to tell anyone else, but I wanted to. I wanted everyone to know that I was at last encountering the problem that had been placed in front of me. I knew that I might lose some of the support of my friends and family, but I knew that some would stand by me. I wasn't very popular at that time, but the thing that worried me was the fact that my mum would turn her back on me. If she turned her back on me, I would have killed myself. I wouldn't have been able to accept that kind of rejection. For the first time in my life, I came to realise that I did, in fact, love my mum. But I still felt guilty that she didn't know. I hated keeping secrets from her. Although I'd started to tell people about my sexuality, I kept questioning my own true identity. I was so unsure of who I really was. It was as if I'd been wearing this mask all my life, and I'd finally taken it off and looked in the mirror to find out who I was. I kept asking this new face questions about me and my life. Was being gay a way of life or a part of life? And the fact that I was gay, did that come first or second? Eventually I concluded that I came first, and the fact that I was gay was just like a minor thing. And in turn, being gay wasn't a part of life. It wasn't a way of life, it was a part of life. And in turn, it affected the lives of people around me. I came to understand that if someone had a problem with my sexuality, it's their problem, not mine. At first I was angry that it was me who had to be gay. I just hoped it was all a bad dream and I'd wake up in bed with someone else. I never woke up, of course. Is the isolation you encounter, and I think today even that can still be a problem. I knew I needed to talk to other gay men, but I didn't know where to find them. By now I had come out to more people. It seemed easier to do now, but I always prepared myself for a homophobic reaction. I never got one. Soon I started a performing arts course at a nearby college. During my first week, an immature student asked me if I was gay. Apparently she'd already been playing guess his sexuality with other people on the course, so I told her. The next day I learned that she had told everyone else in the fact that they had a right to know, Although I still talk to the girl in question, I can never forgive her for what she'd done. She forced me to come out before my time. But I was lucky. I didn't get a bad response. There's a few other gay people on the course, but I didn't expect that. I always had the notion that I'm the only gay person in the world. It sounds stupid, but I presume you've all gotten through that. I eventually decided that I wanted to come out completely. My problem was I didn't know how to. Being an extrovert, I decided to come out loudly. The next day, I went into college, and I told everyone. No one was shocked. I think that everyone had guessed anyway. I think that because I'd come out the way I did, I've become a stronger person, and I feel more confident. I think that some people see my sexuality as a novelty, but that's up to them. Some people do say the wrong thing, but I've learnt to laugh it off. If you don't laugh, you'll cry. That's what I've learnt anyway. Because of my openness, I've started to meet other gay men. A student at college set me up on a blind date, which worked. I get scared sometimes though. It's my first experience, but I know he's not the be-all and end-all of my life. I just have to take every day as it comes. Tell my mum, and I was surprised by her reaction. She told me she already knew. The only thing that hurt her was the fact that she wouldn't get any grandchildren by me. I've come to learn that there is a light at the end of the tunnel, and that things do get easier. I can talk openly now about being gay, which is something I couldn't do before. For a while I couldn't even say the word gay, but I can now, with pride.